Stark, epic, bold. Stanley Kubrick describes 2001: A Space Odyssey as a visual experience meant to appeal directly to the subconscious. But the film would be incomplete if the stark visuals were not complemented by a powerful soundtrack and unique sound effects. Hans Christian Andersen once said, "Where words fail, music speaks." This quote applies itself especially well to 2001: A Space Odyssey, which seeks to limit the dialogue of its characters throughout the film. Instead, other sounds speak for the story and convey the emotions necessary to understand what is going on in this confusing, sometimes overwhelming visual production. Much like the visuals of the film, which alternate between large landscape shots to intimate personal close-ups, the sounds of the film alternate between epic classical pieces and noticeably silent scenes. The absence of sound adds just as much to the creative process as scenes with an abundance of diverse sounds. And the beauty of Kubrick's Space Odyssey lies in the film's ability to balance the withholding of sound during crucial scenes and, on the other hand, flood scenes with overwhelming sonic content. Looking at movies describes sound as talking, laughing, singing, music, and the aural effects of objects and setting, which can be as expressive as any of the other narrative and stylistic elements of cinematic form. The sounds of film are an essential extension of a film. They help set the tone, emotions, and style of a movie in order to give the audience a more cohesive, believable experience. In 2001: A Space Odyssey, for example, Kubrick uses the grand classical pieces to convey the epic scope of the film. The audience is able to experience the extra long shots of peaceful space in conjunction with the graceful music, and as a result, an emotion of wonder and curiosity are evoked. Paul Charlier, an Australian composer, argued that Kubrick opened the door for those modern directors whose style relies on existing music rather than original composition. Kubrick fundamentally changed the genre of screenplay music by incorporating existing pieces into his film. By contrast, listen to a segment of this quieter scene from the film. Dave's breathing adds a considerable amount of suspense to a film with very little action or dialogue. It is similar to Alfonso Cuarón's Gravity, which also uses long shot takes and the silence of space to build an eerie tension throughout the film. The silence of both films adds an alien, unfamiliar atmosphere to the plot. As an audience, we are not used to hearing almost no sound in our films. An article by Digital Polyphony writes, "The quiet vacuum of space and absolute silence and the mechanical-like breathing of the astronauts in their spacesuits are some of the most memorable portions and uses of audio, or non-uses, in film history." 2001: A Space Odyssey pioneered film in a variety of fields, but one of its most influential contributions to the film industry was its creative use of sound. Through its unique style, 2001: Space Odyssey incorporates grand musical scores and stark scenes with almost no sound to give the film an incredibly unique atmosphere that will be remembered by audiences for years.